Hello, I'm Brevin, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about my third project for IGME.470, Art Meets Engineering. And yeah, so in this project, I decided to recreate a digital piece of art I made in p5.js for another class in processing so that I could use my Arduino to change different parts about the piece. So as you can probably notice, I'm inside of processing right now. So before I mess around with the potentiometer or anything, I will just explain my piece to you and how it works. So let's run this code. And as you can see, there's a ton of lines shifting around. And how it works basically is I have a grid of lines, and each line has a different orientation, which is given to it based on a flow field that I create in my code. And each line is then also given a 0 or 1 based on a stitching pattern. And based on those zeros or ones, it changes the orientation of the line, which creates this sort of grouping effect based on which lines have zeros and ones, which is why you see these like circles and these little lines and shapes that show up sometimes, which is a pretty cool effect. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And yeah, and another thing too is that the zeros and ones, they're redistributed every so often to kind of create that animation effect that you see on the screen right now. And yeah, that's me explaining the piece itself, not really related to Arduino or physical computing, but yeah, that's how that works. And good segue, you'll notice in my console right here, there's three values being read out. The first two are my colors, not important, you don't have to worry about those. But the third value is whatever is being read out for my potentiometer. So before I even try and change my potentiometer, I'm just going to point out one thing. In homework 14, I noticed this as well, but in processing, anytime you use inputs on your Arduino and you try and change it, sometimes it can take a long time to read those changes. So when I've been working on this project, for example, I've had times where it's smooth and it changes right as I'm change my potentiometer, and most of the time I've been unlucky and it will take multiple minutes before it actually changes to whatever value I give it. So a workaround to that that I've been doing to test my project is I'll change my potentiometer value before I run the code. That way the change happens instantly. So if I want to change it like right now, for example, it's reading 153. So I'm going to move my potentiometer over to the side, and it should be at 255 now. So let's stop this and run the code again. The color should change. Yep, to this red and blue, and the hue is reading 255 now. So yeah, and basically what this hue is doing as well, or what the value of the potentiometer is doing that's being read is it's being used as a hue for the first and second color in this piece, which both those two colors basically control all of the colors in the piece. So think of it as like a primary and a secondary color. So in this case, primary color would be red and secondary color would be this blue right here. And yeah, but yeah, that's what the potentiometer is used to change, is the color. I'll try changing it right now in real time and see if it does anything. I just changed it to 0, which the colors would look the same, but I'll wait a couple seconds and see if this value starts to change at all, which also sometimes I noticed if I change it really fast, it'll be on the way to changing and then it'll kind of stop in place, and then I'll have to wait again and then it'll keep changing and then it'll stop in place. But right now I'm not very lucky. It's not changing at all currently. But yeah, and to show you that I changed it, I'll stop this and I'll run it. It didn't touch my potentiometer at all, and the value is 0. So yeah, so sometimes processing can be really annoying with that, where it takes a long time to read my value. But it is changing. It is changing based off the potentiometer. So you can see that in my console. And yeah, that's basically the whole project explained. And yeah, I mean, I know like one thing I was really disappointed with this is like processing can be really slow sometimes with taking these values, so it's not as smooth of an experience as I'd like. And I spent almost all my time just remaking this piece in processing, so I didn't have a lot of time to fine tune the actual input and try and smooth it or make it better. I don't know if that's even something I can control or it's just a whole processing issue that like is completely out of my hands. Um, but yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge or disappointment in this project would be just dealing with issues with processing. And anything that I'd be happy with is honestly the main thing I'm proudest of in this project is that I found a way to kind of combine the digital space of art and the physical computing where I can kind of take two different classes and combine things I've worked on to make something really cool. Because I've had a lot of fun in 531 just making digital pieces of art, and I've also been having a lot of fun in physical computing, making these sort of interactive experiences, and just finding a way to combine them both was really fun. And yeah, that's basically everything. Any sort of advice I'd have purely based off this project is to not overscope. I know my project definitely wasn't as overscoped as like it probably could have been or as other people have done in the past. But just make sure your project's reasonable and attainable. Like I did not think it was gonna take me the almost the entire time I had to remake this piece in processing. I thought it'd take me half the time, and I'd have the other half the time to work on the Arduino. But clearly that wasn't the case because I've barely used processing before aside from homework 14. But it was fun to learn, and I'm hoping because I've used it now and understand it better that in project 4 I can spend more time on my Arduino and maybe have like 3 inputs or just more things that do more stuff, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically everything for Project 3, and I talked about Project 4 a little bit, and yeah, that's basically everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment, you can email me, whatever works, and yeah, goodbye.